a brand new video, and don't worry, you will be getting my video and my thoughts on what I think is going to happen in the conference championship games coming up. But I've been waiting since yesterday to make this video. I gotta say, I've never felt more embarrassed to be a baseball fan since last year. And last year was also pretty embarrassing. To last year go with an entire class from the BBWAA and get no one was already embarrassing and pretty honestly disgusting. But to go for this year, seeing David Ortiz, who has gotten positive for steroids, meanwhile seeing people like Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds, who may have had suspicions to it, but they never tested it positive for a test. Never once have they ever tested positive. Neither Barry Bonds nor Roger Clemens ever tested positive for a test. But David Ortiz did, but because the media he was nice to and gave nice interviews to them, he gets let in. But Roger Clemens, who has more Cy Youngs than anyone else, and Barry Bonds, the home run king and the one with more MVPs than anyone else, doesn't have one. They're not in. The same exact idea, the exact same people that voted for those exact same awards and had no issue with them getting those awards knew absolutely what was going on behind the scenes. They knew exactly what was going on. They profited hand over fist for it. And now they get to twist it and claim that they're doing the moral high ground when all they're doing is embarrassing themselves. Honestly, baseball's Hall of Fame is easily the worst, and I'm a huge Hall of Fame guy. I like footballs, though I think there's a lot they can improve on. And my favorite is basketballs, but, they're still improving. But in my opinion, at least that's the best, because I still see a bright future for people like Tim Hardaway and Michael Cooper and Leroy Edwards and many other people I want to see make it. And I feel like they will eventually make it one day. But for baseball, listen, baseball's Hall of Fame makes no sense to me. You can make a fuss so much about guys doing steroids and everything, but you already have guys already inducted that have done amphetamines, greenies, drugs. And if you're going to talk about this whole character clause that you want to try to push onto people and try to spin as they're bad individuals, first off, it's funny coming from people who have a reputation of being real rude individuals and real scumbaggy individuals. It's kind of funny how they're the people that are qualified, allegedly, in the eyes of Cooperstown to bestow character onto others. Really? These people? You really think George King and Dan Shaughnessy are the best judges of character? You really think Michael Hunt and Steve Marcus are the best judges of character? Really? Those people are? Really? Why suddenly? Why are these people that have a reputation of being real nasty individuals, why are you giving this opportunity to trash their characters and accuse them of being bad people? You know who they are. You know how they are behind the scenes. You never spoke with them as face-to-face as a man, as a person. You never did that stuff. No. All you're doing is trying to smear them and trying to make yourself look holier than thou. When in reality, everyone that's not associated with you sees you all as a farce. And I hate seeing this. I really, really do. I don't want to see baseball's Hall of Fame be a farce. But honestly, the voters have made it that way, in which no one else can argue otherwise. People don't like them. They're unlikable individuals. These are the people that are truly unlikable. These are the ones that have poor character. These people should not be judging Sammy Sosa, Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, and many others. And there's many guys that are on there that also should be there. Scott Rowland has a better WAR than most of the third basemen already in there. And that's the highest thing that judges Hall of Fame character. But, I'm not too sure about it. Oh, my God. Todd Helton as well, Billy Wagner. They're guys that fell off in their first year that deserve it too, like Joe Nathan. Tim Hudson just fell off. Tim Lincecum was the best pitcher during that stretch. And hell, you even have guys like Josh Hamilton that just missed out on the mark that absolutely deserve a look here. He was an MVP. You guys gave him that MVP award, but you don't want to put him on your ballot. And seriously, it's just black eye after black eye for this sport. Seriously, it feels like all these wounds are self-inflicted. You don't want to put in Joe Jackson, despite you having a Field of Dreams game now, which you're profiting off of him. You don't want to put Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, etc. in the Hall of Fame, even though they were responsible for making baseball popular again in the 90s following the strike. And not only that, the Veterans Committee still put in guys like Tony La Russa, Joe Torre, and Bud Selig, who profited and made sure they got very, very big and got really nice paydays and were very successful because of the steroids. They had no issue there. But suddenly, you're going to start punishing guys and start seeing them as lesser because of that. It just... And David Ortiz excused the exact same stuff, but because he was nice to you guys, you're going to give him a pass. Mike Piazza, Ivan Rodriguez. Ivan Rodriguez made it first ballot. There's just as much suspicion as Barry Bonds, but you're going to accuse Barry Bonds because you didn't give him nice interviews. How much of a... This is disgusting. And I got to ask myself, why should we take these guys seriously if they're not even making their choices very seriously? I mean, Jeff Kent, you're not even going to let that guy in, even though he has more home runs than any other second baseman in history? And to be someone like Michael Hunt, yeah, Mike Hunt, I know, and Steve Marcus, people that decide to just submit blank ballots, like, how dare you? You're talking about integrity to the sport. I would argue that hurts the integrity of the Hall significantly more than inducting any people associated with PEDs, because submitting a blank ballot shows a lack of respect. If you're going to set a maximum number of people that they can vote on, being 10, why can't you do the same thing, allowing only one person to be voted at minimum? Submitting a blank ballot, do you realize how many hundreds, if not thousands of people, hell, even millions of people that would do whatever it takes to get a chance to vote for the Hall of Fame? There are so many people that would love to do anything for that. And to submit a blank ballot? Why? All you're trying to do is stir attention for yourself and not positive attention. More and more people see you as a joke, see you as a disgrace. And I'm saying this as someone who truly loves the sport. I truly love baseball. I absolutely love it to death. But we also need to be honest with ourselves. These are not people that are truly submitting the best players or managers or contributors or whatever. These are people that, not all of them, most of them are doing their job. But for the ones that are not, the ones that are actually abusing the process to fit their own narrative, to make themselves look better and superior, they're truly hurting the game. Those people have hurt the game significantly more than any of those people that have taken PEDs combined. How can I be excited for a sport that the people that are on there the most constantly complain, hand over fist about it, nonstop? How can I get excited for that? How can I get excited for the Hall of Fame when more often than not, people are complaining about who didn't make it than who actually did make it? I should be excited for David Ortiz. I really should. But now it almost feels dirty seeing Ortiz get in first ballot. Meanwhile, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, and others that were better players, no offense to Ortiz, but just better players, like different category of player. And they don't think that's good enough. They just say, oh, I think you did steroids. Ortiz did them too. For all we know, he might have still been doing steroids. We don't know. We don't truly know. At this point, it feels like the go along, get along game. It feels like the good old boys club. You're either nice to me or you get in. If you're not nice, get out. Albert Bell, this happened to him. Now, I think Barry Bonds was probably disliked by the media. Do you know how I know that? Because his father, Bobby, was very disliked by the media, especially in an age where he was dealing with the after effects of the civil rights movement. So that's natural to feel. So obviously Barry's going to have those feelings in him as well. I can't blame him for feeling that way. If they're trying to smear my legacy, I'd be the exact same way. And for Dan Shaughnessy, I'm not going to say my real thoughts on him. This person, let's just say that, to say that, oh, Ortiz is one of them because he's one of the Dominican guys. Ding, 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 ding. Is that racism much? I smell racism. He might not. He's gonna say it's not racism. He's gonna say it's not racism. Make himself look better. But come on, guys. It smells like racism. So honestly, it's probably racism. I'm gonna go on the limb and say that's probably underlying racism. And what a farce. I mean, to leave Curt Schilling out because he's Republican, even though he had some of the best playoff numbers ever, how dare you? That is far more disrespectful than anything else. It's a farce. Honestly, why should I care about the Baseball Hall of Fame? They certainly don't care about their history. They can claim they do, but they don't. Yeah, they finally put in guys like Buck O'Neil after he was long dead, and they finally put in guys like Bud Fowler 150 years after he started playing. But at the same time, this is the same Hall of Fame that still doesn't induct Doc Adams in, who was born over 200 years ago and helped create the sport. You don't have Tip O'Neill in, even though he was literally batting .400. Pete Browning helped popularize the Louisville Slugger. Lou Perini helped grow the game outside. And hell, yeah, I understand that there may be an award for broadcasters, but that's still seen as a lesser honor. For God's sakes, Vin Scully is not even inducted with his own plaque alongside the players, managers, etc. And some could argue that the Baseball Hall of Fame voters are like politicians. But I think that's an insult to politicians. At least the federal government, at least they gave Vin Scully the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And at least Congress suggested that Curt Flood, for what he did for free agency, should be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. What does that tell you? When Washington, D.C., when Congress, when the federal government shows far more respect and significantly less pettiness for Vin Scully and Curt Flood than the actual Baseball Hall of Fame voters, what does that tell you? When a body that's infamous for pettiness, a body that's infamous for mudslinging and everything, when they show significantly more respect than the voters, than the actual hall itself, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? I'm at a loss for words. No, I'm not, but I'm amazed. And now the Veterans Committee is not going to be much better because they're going to try to be all against to say no to Barry Bonds. Imagine saying no to Barry Bonds. Barry Lamar Bonds. This is a guy that literally, the bases were loaded, they still let him walk because he was that damn good as a baseball player. And yeah, you could hit steroids, but you got to hit the ball too. You got to hit the ball as well. And no one else is better than him. No one else was better than him. You can say about steroids and whatnot. That grew the game. You got nice paychecks as a result, buddy. You got nice paychecks as a result. And it's just disgraceful that I should be looking in positively. But instead, I'm just you amaze me, Cooperstown, with how little respect people actually care about you. And it's sad, too. Thank God the Veterans Committee got it right by inducting those 6 people. Vinny Minoso, Jim Cott, Tony Oliva, Gil Hodges, Buck O'Neil, Bud Fowler. They got it right. I mean, we should not... Basketball Hall of Fame is fun because you actually feel like people are going to get inducted. They're actually going to get inducted, and it's going to be a celebration and a true celebration of those people that get inducted. Yeah, you could be upset with the guys that didn't make it, but they'll happen down the line. You still feel that. But for baseball, there's always this constant debating. Oh, he's not really good. Oh, is he actually good? Hell, guys like Derek Jeter that were exceptional, they're now questioning how good they actually are. Like, oh my God. Do you think this is good for the sport when people are debating how great some of the very best are? Is this good for the sport when people constantly dogpile and keep arguing what's actually good or if it's going to help the legitimacy of it? Do you think those debates are fun? Do you think that's exciting? No. It hurts the sport and it only turns more people off than it already has. And seeing how baseball, the MLB is still in a lockout for it, to see all the hundreds, if not thousands of athletes that have came and said how disgusted they were and how annoyed and just pissed off they were with the results. You've lost so many people, guys. How dare you? This is embarrassing not as only as a baseball fan, this is embarrassing as a sports journalist like myself. This is embarrassing as part of the media like myself because I see this and I see embarrassment. I see it. The Hall of Fame is not actually the Hall of the very best or even the very good, as some people say. It's the Hall of who was nice to me during the interviews. It's the Hall of morality. It's the Hall, honestly, they should move it from Cooperstown, New York to Mount Pius because that's the highest land they could eventually go, right? Some people even suggest the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, honestly, because people are just that sick of it. You should not get this level of animosity over the high ground of baseball. You should not be getting this. You should not be getting this visceral, angry reaction from people over the Hall of Fame. And you should be of positivity. And even the ones that were excited for David Ortiz, hell, David Ortiz himself was pissed off that Manny Ramirez is being excluded. He knows he did steroids just like him, but he feels annoyed that he's getting the benefit, but his friend, his teammate, the person that helped make him who he was, is being left out because he wasn't as good to the media. This has to stop. This has to stop, and I'm happy. I am very, very happy that people are coming out and saying that this has to stop. There has to be changes. It is time. I mean, they made changes before. I mean, they made the change to reduce the number of years on your eligibility from 15 to 10. And obviously that was done to feed out the steroid guys. And if it's anything else, and anyone says, you're wrong, believe me, it definitely is. It just feels like it's so much. It just feels like it's so much like, why should I care about it when you don't even have respect for yourself? A lot of people feel like the Hall's at a point of no return. And that's sad. That's sad. To see all this BS petty politics debating over what's actually... You think that's fun? You really think that's fun? And the ones that do make it sometimes get trashed on because they're seen as media darlings. You think that was fun for Harold Baines when he got inducted? People trashing him, calling him trash and everything, saying that he was given treatment. You think that's fun for them? I feel bad for those kind of guys. Because that should be their night, but instead people are pissed off. I mean, justifiably so, but they're still pissed off. And it's so much petty nonsense. They gotta change that. Like, enough. Enough is enough. Kind of cut it out, guys. I mean, yeah, you're not going to listen to me. You're not going to listen to me because I don't really have much respect for a lot of them. But it's just so disgraceful. It's sad. It's a damn shame. And honestly, I would say I feel sympathy for any of them, but I don't have a sympathy for a single person that, and hell, even if as great as you are like a Jason Stark or Tim Kirkjian, you're great dudes. This is nothing against you. This is for the ones that abuse the process. These are the ones that only think it's about themselves. And that's what's truly hurting the sport. It's people like them. And as for Jeff Pearlman, tough. You're saying that now you want them in now? Now you say you want them in after the years of trashing on Barry Bonds and being petty like a child over him, and now suddenly you want him in after he's off? You're part of the problem. Piss off. You're part of the problem, Jeff. You're one of the reasons why these people never made it in, and I hope you're happy. You got exactly what you want. So don't come acting like you're so superior now. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to flip the script now. With all the nonsense, the trash talking you've given to those people, those decent individuals who actually have good lives and have made far more success and are loved by significantly far more people than you ever will. To do that to them, to smear their names, and to act like you want them now, when they now have way less of a chance, how dare you? Yeah, they obviously didn't play to make it. How dare you do that to those people? With all they've sacrificed, and to dish them like that, and now you're saying you're for them? You don't deserve any of my respect. You don't deserve any of my respect, Jeff. None of it. None of it. Absolutely none of it. You're not getting any respect from me because you don't deserve it. And neither your other buddies that are dealing with the exact same thing. You're the reason why the sport is doing bad. You deserve all the blame in the world. I hope you're feeling very happy. And be careful what you wish for, Jeff, because you just might get it. Now you get to see the Hall of Fame without Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. Are you happy now? Are you happy now, Jeff? Are you happy now, Dan Shaughnessy? Are you happy now, Steve Marcus? You're really happy now? You're really happy? Good, because you're pissed off millions of others. And honestly, take a hike. Take a hike. You're a disgrace. You should be ashamed of yourselves, and so should anyone that reads your stupid reports and your stupid journals. I hate saying that, but honestly, I don't get this mad for no reason. But these people deserved it. I've lost all respect for you, BBWA. And even if you put in Scott Rowland and Todd Helton, Billy Wagner, and many others, it's going to take a whole lot before I can truly view you again as legitimate. Because honestly, for all I know, you probably never were to begin with in the first place. Why start now when you didn't really have much to begin with? And to all the writers that were doing the right things, this is not on you. And I'm sorry that I have to lump you guys with this because you do not deserve this. You do not deserve this. There's far more goods than bads. But honestly, the bad deeds outweigh the good of the many. It takes one bad apple to ruin that orchard. In this case, it's many bad apples that have been self-inflicted wounds on the game of baseball. It's sad. I'm sorry for everyone in the Bay Area that wanted Barry Bonds and Tim Lincecum and Jeff Kent. You deserve better. You deserve better, absolutely. And I feel for you guys. I really do. I'm not going to let you sit here and let these guys trash your favorites any longer. It's time that we start treating the Cooperstown as not legitimate, because if they're not going to show any respect for any of the greats of now and before and the many great contributors and innovators like Vin Scully or Doc Adams or many others, why should we care about it when they barely even do that, and they do years in advance? Why should we care now? They're just now putting in Negro League guys. Like, come on, guys, seriously? Why should we wait for this stuff? Until they're going to start doing what we want, it's about time that we stop giving them the respect that they want until we get what we truly want in the end. It's sad it has to come like this, but it does. But that's just my thoughts on the Baseball Hall of Fame fallout. Again, congratulations to David Ortiz, but for everyone else that missed it, I feel sorry for you because you did not deserve this. And hell, even the ones that didn't have a chance in the first place, you still did deserve better than this. Anyway, guys, please like, share, subscribe to this channel, and hope to see you again soon, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.